right, today we are going to talk about private transfers. So we always had a way to do private transfers, but quite frankly, it wasn't really an efficient way. So you can now do private transfers a lot easier by going directly to the Firearm Transfer screen, which you're very familiar with, and you can start a new transfer. And the nice thing, you now have the ability to just do a private party transfer. So there's two scenarios. If both the seller and the buyer are present, you want to just set that to yes. Of course, if they're not, and it would be the seller that's there first, you would want to acquire the firearm immediately. Now, you still can say that both buyer and seller are there, and you want to acquire the firearm immediately, but typically that's not necessary because you don't really want to take possession of the firearm until you know that the buyer is basically passes the background check and is eligible to purchase that firearm. This way it never goes into your bound book and never goes into your inventory. So in the event that both the seller and the buyer are present and you're not acquiring it immediately, we actually do go ahead and create a 4473 so that can be filled out, and you can proceed with the transfer, assuming the buying party passes the background check. So just like the regular FFL transfer, you can choose a transfer fee. Let's put 35. I can either add a new customer by clicking that icon, or I can start typing in a customer. So let's say Bradley is selling me a firearm. Here's Bradley, and here's me. And again, you can just add a new buyer, add a new seller. We can just quickly search for an existing firearm so it fills out all this information, or I can just start typing in whatever information I want to. So, or scan, and if they have the box with them, you can still scan the serial number. Choose pistol. And basically, we just fill out all the information. Add the firearm. I can actually do a private transfer of multiple firearms just like I do. So if I want to add a secondary firearm, all of those will go into the firearms in this transfer. And again, since both the buyer and the seller are present, I'll go ahead and hit process, and I'll show you what happens. So I've successfully added a firearm transfer. So you'll see that this is now a private transfer that I did with the status of new. I can, of course, change the status. And if I go over to manage our 4473s, you'll see that I created an actual 4473. And I can send the customer to the kiosk and have them start filling out the 4473 and completing this private transfer. Once I get a proceed, I would just follow the same procedure. I just go to the sales screen, unsuspend the transaction, and at that point, once the proceed happens, we do acquire the firearm, and you're basically ready to roll. This concludes the video on private transfers. We hope you're as excited as we are. We know we've gotten many requests, and it took us way too long, but I guess there's a saying, better late than never. Thank you, everyone, and until the next video, hope you have a great day.